Aloha and welcome to Week 10 of CM400C. In this week's lecture, I've combined both Week 10, Usability Testing, and Week 13, Incorporating User Feedback. At this point in the semester, you will start transitioning from wireframing to prototyping and set up your first usability test. So let's get started. Here's your weekly reading for this week in the Interactive Design textbook. Before we dive into usability testing, let's take a moment to reflect on where you are in the mobile design process. At this point in the process, each of you should have finalized your app context and created a phrase that describes the context of your app. In step number 2, you did some market research to understand your competitors and how user needs are currently being met. Finally, in step number 3, you've taken your context and transformed it into an app vision while also finalizing your user needs and functions and features you will design for. With mobile design process steps 1 to 3 under your belt, you're almost ready to dive into branding and visual design. But before you do that, you'll have to digitize your wireframes, create a prototype, and complete at least one usability test. So what is a usability test? Your interactive design textbook describes it as usability testing is a technique that is used to evaluate a product by testing it with its intended users. The aim of usability testing is to watch real people use what you've designed to discover any errors they may encounter, how they feel while using it, and to determine ways the experience may be improved. So usability tests provide insights for designers. These are the questions that usability tests can answer for you. How do you validate assumptions you've made in the mobile design process about the users, your competitors, the viability of your app idea? How do you determine how easy it is for users to learn and use what you've designed? And lastly, how do you know if you've really met your users' needs? Before usability testing, do this first. So make sure you digitize your wireframes, sign up for InVision, create a project in InVision, upload all your wireframe screens, create hotspots, and then of course review your prototype. So you've completed your first set of wireframes, digitized them, and you've created and reviewed your prototype in InVision. You're now ready to create your usability test questionnaire. For the final project, each of you will have to create and participate in a usability test or user test. Each of you will create a usability test questionnaire using Google Forms. In the heading of that document, you will include your context, abstract, and phrase, and the purpose of the test. You want to then provide your partner with some information about the 3 tasks you want them to perform during the user test. An example could be take a picture, or make a purchase, or find a recipe. For each task, you want to include a way for your partner to rank the 4 measures on a scale of 1 to 5. So once again, that's for each task. So your usability test is going to measure efficiency, accuracy, recall, and emotional response for each task that the user is going to move through. Before I explain how to create a user test or usability test in InVision, I want to let everyone know that at this point in time, it only works with the iPhone version of the InVision app. What this means is the first question you need to ask your partner is if they are an iPhone or Android user. If your partner has an Android device, your partner will need to do the user test via the Reflector 2 application. Reflector is a wireless mirroring and streaming receiver that allows you to connect almost any combination of devices to your computer at the same time. Each device mirrors in real time, and the layout automatically adjusts when a new device connects. This will enable you to record your user test for your partner to review later. I've posted a demo on how to use Reflector, so please make sure you watch it. InVision has partnered with Lookback to help you capture exactly how user experiences your product. After you choose your test takers, Lookback records how your users interact with your product. Their screen touches, clicks, even their face and voice. Lookback uses the InVision iOS app to create a seamless user experience. So before moving forward, it's key, once again, that you find out if your partner has an iPhone. If they have an Android phone, make sure they know how to use the Reflector 2 to perform the user test for you. In the next few slides, I'm going to walk you through the process of creating a user test for your partner if they have an iPhone. First, you need to go into your project where you have your wireframes and click on the video camera icon on the left side of the screen. So log into Envision, select your project, and select the video camera icon. That's outlined in red here. You'll be taken to the screen and you want to connect to Lookback. So not user testing, you want to connect to Lookback. You want to then create an account for Lookback. So once you hit sign up, then you'll input your information to create an account. And then in order to connect to your Envision account, you will have to authorize Envision. You're ready to prepare your recording for your partner. And then you're going to get ready to get started. Lastly, you can send a link to your partner by a copy URL and then paste the link in an email to your partner. So your partner will essentially click on that link. The user test will open in the iPhone Envision app, and then you'll go ahead and get started with your user test. When your partner opens up the link, the user test will start loading and then tap to start. Keep in mind that for Lookback, the phone will record both video and audio during the user test. And Lookback will ask for permission to use the camera, microphone, and your screen. To stop the user test recording, simply tap and hold down, and Lookback will stop the recording and give you some options. Click dismiss and the recording should save to your partner's Lookback account. After you've completed the user test, email your partner and let them know the recording should be available and ready to view on the Lookback website. Also, Lookback is really cool. It tells you when a user test recording is available on your Lookback account. Log into Lookback to view your recordings. Take a careful look at the user test recordings you receive, and while you watch, be sure you take notes on what you see. Refer back to the questions and answer these questions based on what you see. How do you validate assumptions you made in the mobile design process about your users, your competitors, the viability of your app idea? How do you determine how easy it is for users to learn and use what you've designed? And lastly, how do you know if you've really met your users' needs? So what do you do now? As part of your final project, you will take your notes and address tasks that yielded low ratings and iterate your wireframe screens that prove to be problematic. Other issues you may need to address are adding missing screens in your app flow or adding hotspots missing in your prototype. Once you've updated your prototype with new screens and hotspots, you can share it with your partner again for another user test. So let's review. Usability testing will enable you to create better and more user-centered mobile designs. It's good practice to set aside your own biases and allow someone else to experience your design, and you can witness the user experience take place in real time. Ultimately, through user testing, you will improve and iterate your design and discover things about your mobile design that otherwise may not have been discovered without it. For your final project, you will prepare at least 2 user tests with your assigned partner. As always, let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, have a great week and aloha.